we go. There's one. It is Saturday. At 8:30 in the morning. 8:35. I just got up 5 minutes ago and made a cup of coffee, and they're already out there with their vehicles. Yesterday, they were surrounding my house with crotch rockets and motorcycles and tearing it up. Going around the block, coming back, making U-turns, coming back. They don't do that stuff when you're recording, though. But I'm going to record anyway, so I can enjoy my coffee over here. Because they don't, they either stop doing it or they do it a lot less when you're recording. So. There's my cat Jasper. There's my Jasper. There's my Jasper. Basking in the sun. I don't have my second cell phone yet, so I'm not live streaming 24 hours a day yet, but I will be. It's obvious that my handler does not want me hanging out in the backyard. And that has been obvious since the first year I moved in here for many reasons. So I go out maybe twice a day to have a cigarette on my backstop, but they go ape shit with the noise when I go out there. Almost like, how dare you come out and sit on your step, try to enjoy a cigarette in your own backyard. Because that ain't allowed. It's just not allowed, people. All of my neighbors are in on this, both sides. The ones behind my house and the White Ranch house next door is also involved. And whoever is living in the White Ranch house, I believe, is wearing a costume. Oh, there we go. Prime example right there. Not even close to what I get when I'm not recording, though. You can literally hear the motorcycles and the trucks just sitting on the sidelines, just waiting for orders to go. Timing is everything with the handlers. They want that noise of theirs to happen at the exact time they want it to happen, depending on what you're doing inside your house or wherever you are. But since I live in my house and I'm in my house 99.9% of the time, I'm using that perspective. So because I'm being monitored inside my home, they know what I'm doing at all times, the handler, okay, which is the one that shouts out the orders to the workers. So I call it busy inside, busy outside. That's what I call it. If I start rummaging through my purse right now, that's when they're going to go by and make their noises. If I stand up to make a cup of coffee right now, that's when they're going to make their noises. If you're just sitting here idle, they're not as active. As soon as you start focusing on something or getting active or trying to be productive in your day, that's when all hell breaks loose. That's when they start making noises. It's like they don't want to be the main noise. They want to be the background noise. And they want it to be so that they can try to create a chaotic environment for you without you noticing. So they'll slowly creep in the noise, and then it will escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate. And they're trying to sensitize you to that. But I have noticed that their timing is very important to them. So all of you that get noise harassment, pay attention to the timing because it does have something to do with it from personal experience. 100% of the time, it has something to do with whatever you're doing. Also, in my personal experience, anyone that's experiencing B2K, um, and I don't on a normal basis. I have experienced it at the beginning of this. When they first came out, overtly, I did experience the B2K, the actual voices you could hear. Okay, that's patented. They have a patented technology on that. All right. Now I just get more thought projection, but I have trained myself and know when they're trying to give me a thought that isn't mine. So, rule number one, if you're a target, know thyself. Know thyself, know thy thoughts, know when thoughts are not yours. Okay? Because, in a very real way, from being a target for as long as I have, another thing I have noticed is that I hate when people call it mind control. I hate that. I'll tell you why. Everybody's got free will, all right? God doesn't take that from you. And God also says, stay sober, stay vigilant, because our adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Okay? So God wants you to be aware. He doesn't want you to put your total focus on them. He still wants you to focus on God. But you have to be aware so that you can dodge the fiery darts of the devil. Okay? So I'm constantly aware of my surroundings, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what I'm watching. If they punch the wall or I hear a creak or any little thing, any little obsolete noise that they think I don't hear, I hear everything. You have to be aware at all times. Okay? But the thing that I've noticed is that with the B2K, the only way it becomes mind control is if you let it. Okay? They can inject those thoughts into your head to do something. And if you're not in your own head, you might think that those are your own thoughts and then act on them. So it's very important that you know yourself and know your enemy. Okay? Your enemy, the reason that they do everything that they do is to attempt to get a reaction out of you. That's their prize for being shitty people. Your reaction. That's their prize. You got to think of it that way because that is the way it is. Okay. But this is what I tell myself and them every single day. It doesn't matter what you do. It matters what I do. And if you adapt that mindset, it doesn't matter what they do, it matters what I do, I think your life will change a little bit. Because it really does come down to that. You know, you cannot control other people, but you can control yourself. And the only way they're going to turn you into a Manchurian candidate is if you let them. Okay? Honestly, it's that simple. All TIs, tell yourself every day, it doesn't matter what they do. It matters what I do. And I think that you're gonna see this in a whole different light. Because the fact that they're doing these things, they're expecting a reaction out of you. Okay? They want one and they expect it. And when they don't get it, sometimes they'll just keep doing it until they do get it. Or sometimes they'll move on to another tactic. But either way, nobody really can control you unless you allow it. And I've had MK Ultra used on me, so I do have experience with it. And I can tell you that MK Ultra is very effective if you're not aware of it. If you're not aware of its capabilities and you're not aware that your thoughts are being manipulated by others, and then you act on those thoughts, you just handed them exactly what they wanted on a silver platter. Okay? I think that if you study the subject of narcissism, you will understand your enemies better. Because that is what we are dealing with, people. We're dealing with a network of narcissists. That's what we're dealing with. And narcissists, it's a very complex mental disorder. And there are a lot of good teachers on YouTube that can teach you about narcissism and how it works. But, I can just tell you right now what they're doing is they're looking for your reaction. They need your reaction like we need oxygen. Okay. They hate being ignored. Narcissists cannot stand being ignored. Okay. So you don't have to ignore them. You have to be aware of them. Uh, to protect yourself and to be aware of your surroundings. But you do not have to react. Okay. Learn the gray rock method. It does work. The last time I saw my handler a few years ago, I used it on her and it worked like a charm. And then the last look I ever got from her was like the face of death that I've never seen in my life. My whole life of knowing her. The look on her face was just raw emotion. Like I just tried for 2 hours to get her to react and she didn't react at all. And now I'm pissed. And now she's got me and I know she's got me. And I know she's got me figured out. That was the look I got from her. And I gotta tell you, it was quite a moment. It was quite a moment. At that moment, she knew that I knew who she was. And I've never seen that look on her face. Not in 58 years. And when she passes away, I'm not going to be going to her funeral. Okay. Because I want to remember that look. That's going to be the last look I ever remember. Because that was the justice I've been looking for in my entire life. That look that I got. Okay. And another reason I'm not going to her funeral is because I'm not going to believe that it's really her in that box. Okay. Because her brother pulled an insurance scam and faked his death. So I won't be going. All right. I told her 10 years ago to take me out of the inheritance, if there was any. All right. Over 10 years ago, I told her that. Actually, it was 10 years ago. I told her to take me out of the will, take me out of the inheritance. There's nothing she can hold over my head. And I have full reign to get on here and talk about everything that she's done to me since I was old enough to walk. Okay. Because if she truly is demented in an assisted living facility, then I can get on here and talk about my life all I want. And use her name because apparently she doesn't remember what her name is. Right? Nice little corner she backed herself into. That's all right. And she still thinks that she's dealing with an idiot. And I'm going to. I'm going to get on here And I'm going to make a video of everything this woman has done to me. Okay, throughout my life. I'm going to show you how narcissistic somebody can be. I'm going to tell you all about it. And she's still going at it. She's 79 years old. She's still going at it. She's still going at it. You know, when I was grounded at 15 years old, didn't know it was going to be for life. Come to find out it was. I told my family members my whole life that she was a Nazi. I didn't even know what the freak I was talking about when I said it. But guess what? Turns out I'm right. Okay? That's all right. All of you that think that the government is doing this, they aren't. This is a modern day mafia, and the Nazis are the bosses. And I know this from personal experience. It is not just something that I'm making up or my opinion. It was the Nazis that messed with the human body. It was the Nazis that messed with the human brain. It was the Nazis that created Zersetzung. It was the Nazis that want to rip down your life. They're demonic people. They're obsessed with it. Power, control, obsessed with it. Okay? And they're all a bunch of narcissists. And Lucifer was the first narcissist. Satan came to steal, kill, and destroy. That's exactly what these people came to do. They are just like Lucifer. I really shouldn't be calling him Lucifer. That was his name before. When he was the anointed cherub that covered the throne of God. But when he was kicked out of heaven, his name was changed to Satan, the adversary. So I really should stop using the word Lucifer. Now, my everyday life, every day, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay, this is my everyday life. I wake up, a loud vehicle goes by, almost to announce to everybody in the neighborhood that's involved that I'm awake. Okay. And then the fun begins as soon as you wake up. And it doesn't stop until you go to bed at night. So, I'm looking at a good 15 hours of this starting now. Non-stop, all day, by both the vehicles on the street and the neighbors next door. I'm looking at a good 15 hours of harassment. And that's daily. Daily. And when I say daily, I mean daily. Be right back. Bathroom says, I tried waking up once, but I prefer sleeping. Well, go ahead then. Sleep your life away, I guess. I don't know what to say. It is a blessing that we do sleep. At least we get a break from these people for 7, 8 hours a day. And even when you're sleeping, they're still gang stalking you. So you are harassed 24 hours a day, even when you're asleep. Okay? They cut my hair off my head. They trim my eyelashes. They steal my supplies while I'm sleeping. My coffee, my cat food, my cat litter, my stevia, my Hap and Hap. They tamper with my cosmetics. My cosmetics are going to be an entire video just on its own. Recent, in the past year, purchased cosmetics. Okay, I'm going to put them all out on the table, and I'm going to tell you what they did to each one of them. And then I'm going to show you a screenshot of the purchase date of these cosmetics and how I had to sometimes order them a few times. And then they did it again. I am going to be posting all of those. I'm also going to be posting screenshots of all the cat food I had to buy in the month of July, this month, and all the coffee that I've had to buy. Just, from to show you a perspective of how much they steal. And the reason that they're doing it is because I'm on a very tight budget. Okay? I'm on a very tight budget. I'm living on $1,500 a month. Okay? Besides food stamps and HEAP, which help tremendously. But still, you can stock up enough of everything that you need for the month. But they will make sure that you run out of it, no matter what. They'll make sure that last week of the month you are struggling, even if you had enough. And this is how they make you homeless. They nick at your money, they nick at your finances a little at a time, and it's constant and always. And I'm constantly borrowing money every month to get through the month. And I'm not allowed to work. Okay. I've been blacklisted from employment. And if I do land a job, if I'm lucky enough to get one, it just becomes one big gang stalking skit the whole time I'm there. Okay, so I either have to try to get another job and put up with their clown show until they ultimately set me up to get fired, because that is what happens all the time, because I don't do things to get fired, right? Or I have to get a roommate. And if I get a roommate, I'm taking a risk that I'm inviting a gang stalker into my home. Okay. Or I'm taking a risk that I'm inviting an innocent person into my home, and then they become a target of this gang stalking just from being here. So I'm in between a rock and a hard place here, honestly. But by the grace of God, I have everything that I need. I don't have everything I want. And things that I did have, they have destroyed. Things that I did want. Like my whole set of bath towels that I bought myself a couple of years ago. Brand new set of bath towels. I had a ton of washcloths, a ton of hand towels. They destroyed 90% of them. And the ones that they left in the house, they are now destroying, putting holes in, and stains on them. The few that they left me. Same thing with the hand towels in the kitchen. I've gone through that so many times. Okay. This black coffee mug here, that's a Mainstays coffee mug from Walmart. Okay. I had a whole set of those. They stole the whole set of coffee cups, left me one. Okay. I went to Goodwill. They resold me the same cups that they stole out of my house. And then they stole them again and left me one. Again. These people think that they're a joke. They're a joke, but they think they think that they are intelligent. Uh, they're just they're career criminals. But they just think that they're intelligent clowns. They're career criminals. All right. Now, if the harassment that they're doing is to attempt to get me to move out of this place, okay? If they're attempting to harass me out of here, they already know what the deal is. I have said it out loud many times, and I know that Mary's watching me 24 hours a day. Okay? I know this. Okay? I don't believe for one second that's her in that home. I think it's someone dressed like her. Okay. And if it really is her in there, she's still faking it. And her brother and sister are taking over while she's in there. I don't know what to tell you. But if they are trying to attempt to harass me out of my apartment and to get me to move, which is what they do every few years, it's going to take some things. I'm going to need that bath towel set back that they stole, all my washcloths, all my hand towels, all my kitchen towels, all my coffee cups, all my dinner plates, everything else that you've stolen out of this apartment since I moved in here in 2019. Okay. And the 4,300 that you stole from Social Security, claiming that I was overpaid at Rubino's when I wasn't. I kept my paycheck down where Social Security told me it needed to be. And they're claiming that I owe them $4,300, and they've already taken it. They've already stolen $4,300 from me. I'm not getting any help from Social Security, either in the office or over the phone. I'm going to have to call the office of the Inspector General. And I'm probably going to have to do it from the library and hope it goes through. Because these people hack everything. If these people want me out of this apartment that bad, I'm not leaving until I get those things. And I mean what I say. These people have been trying to make me homeless for 2 years now. And yeah, that is their goal. They're trying to make me homeless. Gangstalkers have an agenda. Their first agenda is to get you to unalive yourself. Their second agenda is to blacklist you from employment. They either want you homeless, in prison, in a mental facility, or dead. Okay? None of those things are going to work out for them. And I will never take my own life. So that's off the table. I will never do anything to go to prison for. So that's off the table. There's no way in fucking hell I'm mentally ill. And I fought that. And that's no longer in my record. But they did leave history of psychosis in there. In case they ever need it later. Okay. But they took the schizophrenia out of there because they knew it was a lie, and so did I. That's off the table. Okay. And there's no way in hell I'm going to allow them to make me homeless. So that's off the table. So if I end up unalived somehow, you can bet your ass it wasn't me that did it. I have been narcissistically abused since I was old enough to walk. Okay. By the same woman who is narcissistically abusing me right now. Yeah. Okay. She's just got a team of friends behind her now. And apparently, she pays pretty good because it's a 24-hour operation. But nobody is going to convince me that it's the government doing this. Nobody. Not my case. I have too much of a history with this woman, and I know her like the back of my hand, and it's her doing it. She actually gave her own self away, and so did the man that she hired to be my honeypot, gave her away as well, and himself away. The gig is up. All right. But she's still holding on to that shred of evidence, or that shred of hope that she can pin this on someone else to get the eyes off of herself. And that's how she operates. And that's how she's always operated. There's always a scapegoat with her. And in this case, I'm sure she's got a scapegoat, a backup plan in case that scapegoat don't work, and probably a third or fourth backup plan unless those scapegoats don't work. Yeah, she's like that. And I used to be her scapegoat. I speak from experience. All right. No way is it ever this quiet around here. You turn on that recording, you hit that record button, watch everything go silent, people. Sometimes they'll show off. They'll still do stuff just to prove me wrong. But 95 to 98% of the time, when you hit that record button, they stop what they're doing. And that's why I'm going to be live streaming 24 hours a day when I get that other phone. It's not going to make them stop, but it's going to slow them the freak down. And then maybe the people that she's paying to harass me will realize that they're too bored to stick around. Since the timing is so important. And if I'm constantly live streaming, they're either going to have to continue and get caught on film, or they're going to have to be silent like they're doing right now Either way, I win. You're a winner either way when you're live streaming. Either way, you're a winner. You get peace and quiet, or you catch them on audio, or you catch them on film. Either way, you're a winner. And remember what I said. It doesn't matter what they do. It matters what you do. And that is very important. Because what they're doing is to get you to do something. And they're going to keep trying until you do something. Right? Don't do it. Don't do anything. Sit back and laugh at them like the ass clowns that they are, like I do every single day. Okay? Because they're not going to get a reaction out of me. They want you to act out of character so that they can run around and tell the world, see, I told you she was crazy. When they provoked you and poked the bear in the zoo 24 hours a day for decades until you do something so dramatic that everyone's looking at you. They're not looking at who provoked you. They're looking at you. Okay? You got to remember that. They're not looking at the provocation. They're looking at you. And you can bet your ass there's a camera guy waiting at all times to catch you acting out of character. And the story that made you act out of character is not going to matter to people. What's going to matter is how you're acting. And you need to remember that. That is very important. I cannot stress it enough. Okay? Had I not studied narcissism, I would have never known that. Learn the gray rock method. It's very effective on these people. The gangstalking is an attempt to get you to act out of character so that they can point the finger at you and make you look like the crazy person that they want society to believe that you are. That's right. It's all a provocation. You learn and apply that gray rock method, that is like punishment for them. We just wasted 3 hours trying to get her to do something, and here she is over here smiling and enjoying herself and watching a video and not giving us the time of day. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? Yeah, it's like that. Okay. And I've been gang stalked for 40 years. 4 decades, people. I'm not talking 4 days. I'm not talking 4 weeks. I'm not talking 4 months. I'm not even talking 4 years. I'm talking 4 decades. I'm 58 years old. I started getting gang stalked when I was 17 by the same person that abused me since birth. Okay. Her and her brother were practicing Zersetzung on me from Germany. Now, somewhere along the line, she may have intermingled with obviously some network because now she's got a team of people behind her, and it's not just those two. Okay, and they don't call it Zersetzung anymore. They call it Gangstalking and organized harassment, but it's the same thing. The only thing that has changed about that crime is the name of it, and they've got better technology now. That's it. But it is the exact same crime with the same intentions and hoping for the same outcomes. And you can look that up on Wikipedia. The Nazi race never died out. After World War II, the Nazis went global, and they're the heads of this new modern day mafia. Any vehicle that you can hear inside this house is intentional. The traffic out there is quiet as a church mouse unless it's a gang stalker. If you can hear it in this house, it's a gang stalker. Okay? I've been living here long enough to know that. Doesn't matter if the windows are closed, doesn't matter if the windows are open. If you can hear the vehicle, it's a gang stalker going by. The people next door are irrelevant to me. They're the ones that vandalize the yard. They're the ones that drop bowling balls down the wooden stairs. They're the ones that pretend to, like they're rearranging their furniture every day. They're the ones that make noise. They're the ones that play their bass. They're the ones that slam their front door like a dozen times in a row. Okay. They're being hired to harass me with noise on the other side of the wall. Okay. And yeah, it's been going on since the day I moved in here. The same exact people. Now, whether that's a real apartment over there or just a working office made to look like an apartment, I really have no way of knowing. And it honestly doesn't matter. Because I know that they're in on it. They've made that very clear. They know that I know. And I'm sure that they're just one of Mary's scapegoats to pin all this on to take the heat off of her. And that's what she does. They're one of her scapegoats. It was the neighbors, Your Honor. I've been nothing but nice to these neighbors since I moved in here. Nothing but nice. Nothing but nice to them. You know, I don't even talk to them anymore. Because then she turns it into an argument over there. Anything I say, so I don't even bother now. I just sit quietly in my apartment every day, mind my own business. I don't say nothing to them. I don't put anything in the front yard or anything in the backyard because if I attempt to do that, it gets vandalized. Even if it's just a simple little flower pot. Or anything I attempt to put in the backyard or the front yard gets vandalized. And at one point, all they had to screw with were the trash bins, and then they started knocking those over because that's all they had. So now I have my one recycle bin in the backyard, and I've got my main garbage can in the front yard. All I gotta do is open my door, throw my trash in it, and walk back in the house. Alright, so you learn to deal, you learn to go without, you learn. All of the electricity is hacked in this home. All of the plumbing is hacked in this home. All of my appliances. My Wi-Fi, my phone for sure. They're all over my phone. They've got administrative control over my phone. I don't. They've got 2 Facebooks of mine, 2 YouTubes of mine, uh, access to my email, access to my bank account, every account I own. Okay, they have access to. And because I'm on remote neural monitoring, changing your password does not do any good. If you listen carefully, they're screwing with the fridge right now. But I've got that on a different video, so it doesn't matter. They communicate with each other with car beeps and car horns and certain noises, and you can tell that they're communicating with each other sometimes with noise. Noise is not just meant to harass you. Sometimes they're communicating with each other, and sometimes the noise is a backup noise so that they can post something and you won't hear it. Sometimes it's a cover noise for another noise. Are you talking? One of the people in the chat said you might enjoy Brianna for Christ. She goes live quite often. I think she is good. There's one right there. Classic example. All right. Are you talking about Craft for Christ? That channel? Is that what you're talking about? Gavin Rain? I have seen her channel. And yeah, there is witchcraft involved in this. My handler is not only a Nazi, she is a witch practicing witchcraft. Right? She's a white supremacist. She's a fascist. She's a liar. She's a thief. And she's a murderer. Right? And she hired a wanted serial killer that is still wanted in Michigan to be my honeypot. And we were together for a good 5 years. And he's still here and still very active in my harassment. Okay? And every attempt I have made to contact Michigan authorities about him have been thwarted since 2018, at least. I tried contacting people that were on the case. I tried contacting the detectives that were on documentaries about the case. I tried contacting America's Most Wanted. I tried contacting the FBI. Um, I tried everything. I even tried contacting Barry King himself. Okay. Barry King was the father of the last child killed in 1977. Uh, his name was Timothy King. Barry King spent the rest of his entire life searching for his son's killer. Okay. And I believe that his Facebook page is still up, even though he's dead now. It's called a Father's Story /OCCK. Okay. Now, after I realized that my phone was hacked and this man was not being investigated, and that I was not speaking with real authorities, and I was really not speaking to detectives, and the whole thing was a scam because my phone is hacked and none of those messages were really going through. And whoever I was speaking to on the other end of the phone was not a detective. They were a gang stalker, okay? Once I realized that, I attempted to contact Barry King on that Facebook page. And I messaged him for an entire summer on there, and I never got one response. And then guess when Barry King died? He died on my honeypot's birthday, November 19th. Now, granted, he's an old man. He was ready to die anyway, but that doesn't mean anything. These people have direct energy weapons that they can kill you with without being detected. They can cause illnesses. They can give you heart attacks. They can give you strokes. They can stop your heart. There's a lot of things that they can do with these direct energy weapons. And these direct energy weapons are patented, okay? They are government weapons, but it's not the government doing it to us. The government weapons landed into the wrong hands. Like all modern day crime, okay? Gets into the wrong hands. And that's what happened here. And I find it very ironic that who appeared to be the last guy on earth looking for him died on his birthday. I just find that a little ironic. Okay? Just a little bit. Yeah. I don't think that was any coincidence. I think he was giving himself a birthday present. Okay? Yeah. November 19th. Carl Bartman's birthday is November 19th. And that is his name. Carl Edwin Bartman. Bartman. He has a place in Rochester, and he has a place in Michigan, and possibly a few in between. Ohio, Pennsylvania, who knows? But he's back and forth from Rochester to Michigan all the time. And actually was hiding out in Rochester for a good 15 years. Okay. And I was told, was a part owner of a fabric store here in Rochester. You know, I don't believe anything this man says. So he could have been here, you know, longer than 15 years. I don't know. But I know that he is very active in my harassment, and I do believe that he's the one inside my home vandalizing things and stealing things at the orders of Mary. Okay. I do believe that, yes. I believe he's the one in here. He is a trained electrician. My electricity's hacked. My plumbing's hacked. He knows how to do all that stuff. All right. Patrick is too old to be doing that stuff. Patrick is probably one of the drivers in one of the trucks. Okay. Anne is probably on the computer, along with Mary. Now, if that's really Mary in that nursing home, it's Anne on the computer, taking over for her, while Mary attempts to establish an alibi for herself. How's that working out for you, dear? Okay. Well, the way I look at it, okay, Patrick and Anne are both supposed to be deceased, okay, which means I can speak about them if I want to, because I don't think they're really going to care about their reputation if they're dead. Mary, okay, is pretending to have dementia, so that when this crime is uncovered, no roads are going to lead to her. And if Carl wants to complain about me getting on here, then I guess he can provide his DNA and clear his name. That's all right. And that's how we're going to freaking play this out. Because I'm sick of this game. I've been going through it for years, and I've had enough, and it's old, and it's ridiculous, and I'm done. All right. I'm done keeping my mouth shut. These people have kidnapped me 7 times and brought me to a mental facility 7 times on the basis that I was suicidal, which was bullshit. Okay? That is the excuse that they used. And they didn't just keep me for a 72-hour hold like you're supposed to. No. They always kept me for 2 weeks until to a month every single time. I'm going to be making a video and telling everybody everything that's happened to me since I was a child. Everything. I'm going to tell you my life story. It's coming. It's coming. And if this woman wants to destroy my life with lies, which she has done, you know, I can destroy hers with the truth. Okay, that's right. You keep telling lies about me, I'll tell everybody the truth about you. And one of these days, dear, my sister's going to find out why I didn't want her children staying at your house overnight. Okay? They're going to find out the real reason I didn't want them staying there. That's right, dear. You didn't get away with anything except for taking them out of my life. But the truth still remains. And she will find out.